Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to North London Narratives. Guys, I yesterday was a bad day. I was going through the emotions. Network was awful, this and that. But today is a good day. Today is a different day. Today is a day of renewed hope. I feel good. I feel nice. I feel good, and I feel good. I feel good, and that's very important. And I'm very delighted at this. What do I call it? Newcastle. What do I call it? Newcastle. Sorry, Newcastle is in my head because I'm going to talk about Newcastle. But I'm very delighted at this Crystal Palace win. And you're probably wondering why. Because I feel like there is some sort of agenda. Um there's been some sort of agenda from certain people, and I find this very interesting. And I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about now. Um okay, let me share my screen at the stage right here. This is a screenshot I took from a Newcastle page I follow on Instagram. And follow them because I want to get Newcastle news. So they're like now they're Tottenham news that I may not be able to get from the likes of Fabrizio. I may not be able to get from the likes of David Ornstein, but Newcastle fans they look for scraps, and Man U fans and Arsenal fans, and I follow all these channels so I get news. And they posted this um all in the same 24 hours. Extremely normal behavior. So Ade from Talksport. Let's not blame PSR as to why Umbuemo, Gikwehi, Kunia, Sesko, or Pedro didn't go to Newcastle FC. It's a pecking order. There's bigger clubs to join. This lady here, I don't know her name. I watched Talksport, but I don't know her name. Um, she said Newcastle fans blaming PSR is ridiculous. Players don't want to go. I bet Sheshko's search history on Google is what is a Newcastle. The idea that Newcastle United is a sleeping giant, they are not. There seems to be this myth is perpetuated by everybody. I think you guys get the idea. But this is absolutely insane to me. And I feel like there's been this agenda because a lot of people, there's this saying, agenda must agenda. And a lot of people have been trying to sort of monopolize the top six. And everybody that has tried to break into the top six, they always try to hit them down and not let them break through. The same thing they're doing for the likes of Newcastle, the likes of Villa. These PSR rules have sort of made it so that teams can't necessarily become big. Like you can't become big, even if you have big, ambitious owners, you can't become big. And which is why I am extremely delighted that Crystal Palace Football Club have won something against all odds. And that is why, like, this Palace, um, this Palace winning two trophies after not winning anything, winning two trophies in quick succession has been really emotional for me. Um, and it really does mean a lot. See these pictures here, these images here, they are absolutely beautiful scenes because against all odds, against what everybody has said, what everybody has tried to do, how everybody has tried to put them down, they have found a way to succeed against all odds. And that is very key because, like I said, I feel like there is sort of an agenda in the media, and they always want to keep the people at the top, and there's no room for others. And Newcastle, I say Newcastle, the likes of Palace have found a way to break those constraints and restraints and self-inflicted or projections, I would say, that people are trying to place on them. And I thank God for an owner like um Steve Parish because he has really done what was good for this football club in every way possible. Now, funny enough, this isn't a game I was able to catch because I was very exhausted today. I had some studying to do. not school studying, I mean occupation wise. I mean product designer, and I was trying to improve myself even on a Sunday. There are no days off. So yeah, I had a lot of studying to do today. I studied, and after studying, you're using a lot of brain power and then you get exhausted. So I slept off. I'd even forgotten that there was a community shield game today. But I was able to catch the penalties. And from the reviews I've seen and everything, I think that this game is exactly what I've been saying on this channel. And I've been trying to tell people that a lot of people are saying, oh, Newcastle this, Newcastle that. Sorry, Liverpool this, Liverpool that. And I said it that this isn't like football isn't played on paper. You can't just plug and play. You can't just remove Nunez and replace him with Isaac, remove Elliot, replace him with Eketike, remove this and replace him with that. Like, do you get what I'm saying? That's not how football works. These players are going to be changing environments. They're going to be playing with new teammates. They're going to be in a new culture for those that are coming from different countries, even those that are coming from England. Let's say an example, Isak coming from Newcastle to Liverpool is a different culture, is a different sort of publicity, is a whole new ball game entirely, and a whole level of attention that is different and like unlike anything you've ever experienced before. And this team, like I said, I understand that they have a lot of quality players, but football isn't played on paper. And that's what I've been trying to tell a lot of people. Like, football isn't played on paper. And if you think that football is played on paper, then you're so wrong. And it might not exactly be as seamless as a lot of people think it's going to be. Because these players are going to need to settle, they're going to need to understand each other's games, they're going to need to understand their movements and have like develop relationships off the pitch, which also filtering onto the pitch. Because when you have a good relationship with somebody off the pitch, it filters into the pitch and little things like that. And I said it that these things aren't exactly as simple as that. And from the reviews that I saw, it was exactly as I predicted. Now it's still early days. Maybe they sign one or two players, or maybe by the time the season actually starts, maybe the players are still rusty. They are more ready for the season. But like I said, a lot of people are making it seem like this is a done deal. Like Liverpool are surely going to win the league, and I don't think it's as simple as that. I don't think football is played on paper. If football was played on paper, definitely Liverpool win the league. Do you get what I'm saying? But football isn't played on paper. Football has different variations to it. It has different things that can go ways that you did not expect. But let me know. Talk about just Liverpool today. I think I also have to give credit to Glasner, because at some point in time, this was a manager that I wanted as my manager at Tottenham Hotspur, and he's a manager that has beaten the odds wherever he has been. I did a show yesterday, and I was talking about how my opinion of the best managers in the Premier League, and Glasner was top, like top. He was there. He was above at that time, in my opinion, because this is a manager that, against all odds, he has won the Europa League with Frankfurt. Against all odds, he won the FA Cup, not the Carabao Cup. We're talking about the FA Cup. I believe, in my opinion, and in most people's opinions, the second most prestigious trophy in England. That is the FA Cup. So he won that with Crystal Palace against all odds. Even aside from that, now he has gone again to win the Community Shield. He has won them their two first major trophies as a football club. That is incredible, and that is madness. And against all odds, this man has managed to build something. And like I said, like I was talking about how I feel like Ateta being, in my opinion, the sixth best manager in the Premier League is really concerning, because you see managers where when a manager is above the level of the club, the manager is able to drag the club to a certain level and elevate their level at the club. But because, in my opinion, Ateta might not be the best manager, he's not able to get more juice out of the squeeze with the squad that, for example, an Arsenal have. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And that is and will be on the long run, in the long run, a problem if they don't start winning any trophies, because it has to be questioned, and rightly so, in my opinion, because it's not good enough. Like, honestly speaking, I don't think it's good enough. But yeah, that is my take on this whole Crystal Palace and Liverpool situation. I think that from the glimpses I saw and from the reviews that I saw, AKTK was very bright, and I like that. I think when he scored, he had this whole celebration, and I think he's like, yeah, I'm a baller too, and everybody's talking about Isak coming to take my position. I don't think he's going to be as straightforward as that. He's going to put up a fight. This is a very talented young player, and that goal he scored is, I think, similar to the one he scored against Spurs in the Europa League. Like, he's so good from outside the box. Like, that low driven shot, he's so good at it. And once he just, that his lanky body, once he just turned and shot that ball, and it was like, it wasn't even the fastest ball, but it was just so well placed. Like, he's so good around that area, like shooting from that area. He's so good at it. But yeah, it was very nice to see. It was incredibly nice to see, and I am very, 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 very happy that that happened today. Honestly, I am. Hand on my heart, I am, and I am proud, proud, very proud of Newcastle. I say Newcastle. Why do I keep on saying Newcastle? Newcastle live rent free in my head. But anyways, very proud of Crystal Palace. To be honest, I am very proud of them and what they're doing there. So yeah, um, not too much has happened in the last couple of hours, but while not too much has happened, we still have to find something to talk about. So let's see. I think it was clear after this game that Liverpool need a defender. I think from the reviews I saw, a lot of people spoke about their midfield, and I think it's going to take some time to adapt. Personally, I think that their best lineup would be. Personally, I think their best lineup. Uh, so I'm using my hotspot, and for some weird reason, whenever I use my hotspot, I'm unable to view some what do they call them? Some links or some sites rather. I don't know why that is. But anyways, let's try a different website. Okay, this works. Yeah. So I think that a lot of people look at this Liverpool side and see it as like a side that is going to be playing a 4-3-3. Personally, I'm not of that opinion. I think that Liverpool is a work in progress, as we've seen. And I think that playing a 4-2-3-1, maybe against the lesser teams, you'll be able to get away with that. But I genuinely think that against the better teams, you're not going to be able to get away with something like that. And I think that when all is said and done, this right here will be their favorite lineup, like their best lineup, because I genuinely think that having a lineup where you do a vet here, let's say you remove a Zobos line, you do a double pivot of Gravenberg and McAllister, and you replace this guy with Hakpo or maybe even Ekitike. Let's say Ekitike, and then you replace this guy with Isak. This is going to be too attacking, in my own humble opinion. I think that is going to be a lot for these two, especially against the bigger teams. But I know these guys also contribute defensively. So I know these two contribute defensively. So it's exciting to see how it all goes and it all pans out. But I think that when all is said and done and Liverpool is settled, their lineup is going to look something like this instead of what a lot of people think is going to look like. And it's clear that they needed another defender. I've been saying this and I've been talking about how, like, I spoke about how in my Rodrigo to Spurs video, how I feel like Rodrigo to Spurs could happen because he's a World Cup year, and if they make it clear to him that he's not going to be playing at Liverpool, then Liverpool, sorry, I'm Real Madrid, then he might have to find a club, and he's a World Cup year. He needs to be playing for club before he can play for country. And I mean, I heard someone talk about how, oh, if Rodrigo is available on a loan, don't you think that the bigger clubs would get him? Possibly, but I don't think that it is going to be as simple as that. And I think that yeah, so I think like Liverpool will not go for him because, like I said, sorry, I went on a tangent, but Liverpool will not go for him because I feel like they're very weak in these positions. Like right now, the only player that they have here that I know of is, where is he? The centre back. What's this guy's name? Yeah, Joe Gomez. Aside from Joe Gomez, they have nobody else, and they've let go of Kwanzaa. Okay, they have Bajetic that could play there. They have maybe Gravenberch. They have Endo, but they need an actual centre back, and that's why I know that they're going to go for Guehi later during the window. And like they need a centre back, and I understand that a lot of people are getting on the back of Van Dijk over the pen. I think that he's still rusty. Mind you, he's getting older. Old is relative. He's still in his 30s. He's still quite young, but he is getting older. Sorry, and while he's getting older, he sort of will not be as youthful and whatever as he used to be, and he will take some time to get into the rhythm of the season. So yeah, it's going to take a bit, and yeah, it's not going to be as seamless as it used to be. So I feel like a lot of people should cut him some slack on that, if I'm being honest. But yeah, another thing I would like to talk about is let's see. I've spoken about United, Chelsea Football Club, because this club is starting to alarm me. And I didn't watch their preseason game today, but everything that I'm hearing about Chelsea is positive, and I am starting to genuinely get terrified of this Chelsea side. And I feel like they might also be in for Gui. And I'm genuinely serious that next season, with this starting lineup, Chelsea could genuinely compete for the Premier League. And if they change this guy, they could genuinely win the league. And one thing about this Chelsea side is that they have depth for days. Like it's not even just about having like a good first 11. Chelsea have so much depth. Like if Rich James goes out, you have the likes of Gusto, Chaloba, Cowell. I know he's out for the season. I think they have Ben Chilwell. They also have Hato that can also play there. They have the likes of Lavia and Quenda. They have the likes of Esteval, Pedro Neto. They have Gittins. They have they'll be signing Ganacho, Xavi Simons, Dilap. Like they have depth for days. Like even some of their younger players, like the bench players, will be fighting for positions in Tottenham. I think Dilap will be Tottenham's starting nine. I think Xavi Simons will enter our lineup. I think Ganacho will enter our lineup. I think Pedro Neto will enter our lineup. I think Lavia will enter our lineup. I think Chaloba, maybe he won't enter our lineup. Malo Gusto, I think he will compete for the position against Pedro Porro, in my opinion. So like they have so much depth, and it's not just about like the starting 11; it's also about the bench and how strong it is. And that's the thing that I find incredibly interesting about Chelsea because they've been playing well this preseason, and they also have a lot of momentum from the what they call it, from the game, the Club World Cup that they won. And going into the season, I feel like they're one of those teams that could really be a surprise package. And I feel like a lot of people think that, like, okay, there are certain things that a lot of people, or certain opinions that people are starting to form. Like, okay, I understand that Tottenham Hotspur have not had the best window, but I don't think that will be as bad as a lot of people think. I think that West Ham really have a huge season ahead of them. I think that Newcastle are going to have a good season, even though they've not really been able to bring in too much people. I think they will before the window closes. But I think that they will have a good season. I remember the season when they went even Premier League and Champions League ready. They went into the Premier League and they still finished seventh. They went into the Champions League, sorry, and they still finished seventh. I think that United are going to massively bounce back. I'm genuinely terrified about Manchester United. I think that Sunderland are putting together a decent team. I think Leeds have put together a decent team. And Everton are putting together a decent team. Crystal Palace will be strong again. Brighton, as always, will be strong again. Villa will be strong. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So there are lots of teams that a lot of people are like sort of sleeping on, and I think that Chelsea Football Club is one of them. And I genuinely am concerned that Chelsea Football Club could be back. Like, like there were times when Chelsea were finishing, I think, 12th, and I was having fun about it. I was mocking Chelsea fans. I was bantering my friends. And the same thing with United last season. When United finished like low last season and they lost four times to Tottenham Hotspur and they lost in the Europa League final. I was very delighted about it, and I was everywhere on what they call it, on my socials, bantering my friends about it. And it was one of those things, like the Chelsea and the United thing is one of those things where you know that this isn't going to last. So you sort of have to enjoy it while it lasts. And yeah, now they're levels above Tottenham now, in my opinion. And it's crazy because some people just like some clubs are just big and just remain at the top. And that's my problem with this PSR thing. And I keep on saying it because clubs like Chelsea and Manchester City have been able to put themselves in positions before PSR. And it isn't cheating because PSR wasn't there necessarily, but they've been able to put themselves in positions where they're like super clubs. And now, even though there's PSR, they still it doesn't really mean anything and it doesn't really change much because now they're in such strong positions where it's hard to knock them off their perch. And it's like the rest of you figure yourselves out because I don't even know. But yeah, like I said, there's not too much to talk about today. So I've been thinking about what is going on at Tottenham Hotspur. And it got me thinking. I would like a number 10, but what kind of number 10 will I like? And some of the players we'll be linked to, I don't necessarily like, I'm not necessarily crazy about them. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're not players that excite me. Do you get what I'm saying? And I said I don't want Izzy. Maybe it's an ego thing, but yeah. And I was thinking about this guy, Christian Eriksen, and players that are similar to him because I sort of wanted to find a creator. Like, when did a creator that uses the ball to create? So I speak about how, or I've spoken a few times about how, when did Ericsson leave Tottenham? Um, I've spoken about how 2020. So I've spoken about how there are different types of creators, and there are creators who sort of use the ball to create, and there are creators who use their body to create. And Christian Eriksen is one of those um, creators that uses his body to create. And I've been trying to find um, players like that because some of the players that we've been linked to, I don't necessarily like. Who is this? Who is this guy? This is a new player that I've just stumbled across. I actually don't know anything about him. I can't even find a detailed scouting report on him. But yeah, I don't necessarily like some of the players that we've been linked to, and I have been trying to find players for us. So you know what we're going to do? Let's um let's do this. Let's do this instead. So Arsenal need a left winger. We're going to find a left winger for Arsenal. We're going to find Chelsea. In my opinion, all they need is a goalkeeper. So we'll try to find a goalkeeper for Chelsea, Villa. Villa. Let's check. Let's even check their preseason and check their lineups and see what they need. Let's see what they need. Why can't I see the details of the match? Yeah. So right back, I don't know who this guy is. Martin, Kamara, Telemans, Buendia. Mm, this number 10 position is something that they could improve. But some would say they have Morgan Rogers. Um, so yeah, um, Morgan Rogers, maybe left wing. I know they got in Asensio and Rashford last year. So let's see. Maybe left wing. I think left wing they have in midfield. You can say they have Morgan Rogers. So let's say left wing. So Villa need a left winger. So let's do one by one. Arsenal need a left winger. So Arsenal and Villa need left wingers. So the player that Arsenal were linked to for majority of last season was last year was this guy. So let's try to find players similar to him first. Rodrigo is going to be too expensive. This is a player I love, but no, he will not come. To Arsenal is going to be too expensive. Let's try this. Best left wingers. You know what? We don't even need to stress about this. I think I know the perfect player for Arsenal. It's this guy. And I don't know why they're not being linked to him. And I say this because Rafael Leao is one that Shanta was able to convince me about. I wasn't necessarily sold on Leao. But Leao is the kind of player that he's a luxury player. What I mean by luxury player is he's one of those players that they might not necessarily give you anything defensively, but attacking wise, they give you something. And it's about like the numbers or what they give you attacking wise is so good that you can excuse them not defending. Leao is one of those players that you can excuse him not defending. And I think that Leao to us now is an absolute no-brainer because while Leao doesn't defend, Arsenal are already so solid defensively that having a player who's so task is going to be to attack is going to be incredibly interesting um for Arsenal. And I think that we saw like last year with what the manager and his law did with Salah and how relieving him of his defensive duties sort of took his game to a whole new level. And I feel like, genuinely speaking, hand on my heart, that would do the exact same thing for Leao at Arsenal Football Club. So yeah, if you look at his stats from when he went to Milan, oh yeah, this was a few years ago. He was still young here, but since 2021, 2022 season, if you look at his stats, Leao has had 24 goal contributions, 27 goal contributions, 27 goal contributions, and 23 goal contributions. If you look at, let's see, the wonder kid at Arsenal, Bukayo, let's check his own stats. Let's check his own stats. So you have 19 goal contributions, 26, 34, 25. And now, if you look, and this right wing is not a problem. We know that Arsenal have a right winger. But my problem with Arsenal is this guy. And I've been saying it for years, but for some weird reason, Arsenal fans seem to love him. I've been saying it that this guy is not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. And let's check his stats. Let's check his stats. In a side that has been competing for the league, in the first season that he competed for the league, he played well. Since then, this is 13 goal contributions and now 15 goal contributions in 51 games. In 51 games. And look at his minutes played. Look at his minutes played. Almost the same as this last season. Almost the same as this last season. And he had 21 goal contributions and he had 15 here. So poor. Even his average match rating is bad. So taking Leao into this Arsenal team, I genuinely think that will take Arsenal to a whole new level. I genuinely think that Arsenal Football Club with Leao genuinely would have like a shot at winning the league. And I know this might seem a bit harsh. Some people might be like, "Oh no, but this guy is good and is this and is that, and we like him. He's more. He has been with us since." Let me be honest with you guys here. To be able to win the league, you need to be ruthless. And that is why like Chelsea is elevating every season, because Chelsea are ruthless. Chelsea don't play around. Like if you're not good enough, you're not good enough. Thank you, bye bye. Like they don't waste time. They don't waste time. So Martinelli, bye bye. Thank you for your service. You won the bench. When you're ready to be a striker, you be a striker. But yeah, and with this lineup now, with this lineup, I know a lot of people are saying easy, 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 but I'm telling you, Leao is a player that gives you like. Let me explain something to you guys here. In my opinion, it's not just about even bringing in a player; it's about the name. Sometimes, like it's one thing to bring in an Alkalish and he creates his name, he grows his reputation and whatever. But there's a certain caliber of name that you bring to a club that people know that yes, you've made a signing. And let me give you an instance. In recent years, we've seen Arsenal sign Declan Rice. When Arsenal signed Declan Rice, it was like, oh my god, this is such a big signing, this is such a quality signing. And there's like that name, that reputation sort of gives the team a boost. Like it gives the team, like it makes the team feel confident that a global superstar is coming to my club. And that's one thing that, as much as people want to say, oh, Eze is a talented player and Eze is this, Eze is that. And I'm not saying Eze is not talented. I'm not saying that Eze might not work and whatever. But I'm telling you guys that the name of the player, the reputation of the player that is coming also matters as much as anything else, in my opinion. I genuinely think that it does matter a lot. And Leao, as a name, sort of makes the Arsenal team more confident. Even aside from the Arsenal team, even defenders, when you're going up against a Leao, a Rafael Leao, one of these players that you only see play for Portugal. If you don't watch this area, you only see him play for Portugal, and you've seen what this guy has done to defenders. You've seen what he does to defenders. And the thing about Leao is when he does what he does, what does he do? He starts smiling and he starts laughing. He starts laughing. Like there are times when he shoots and he knows he's going to go in and he just starts smiling. Like that guy, he is such a problem. And the thing about having the likes of Leao now is that even aside from like the reputation and the fear, like that's the thing. Like there are players that have this fear factor about them. So mentally, before like a game is even played, they're already at an advantage. But one thing that I feel like Arsenal didn't get enough last year is penalties. And I feel like having a player like Leao, and that's the thing. Everybody always wonders why Chelsea were able to get so many penalties. And I know people were saying, oh, Cole Palmer, Cole Palmer, Cole Palmer, and he was scoring a lot of pens. But getting pens isn't by luck. Like you don't get pens by luck. You get pens because of the profile of players you have. If you look at in contrast, like Chelsea were getting lots of pens, but if you look at in contrast, another side of London, Tottenham, when getting pens because the types of wingers that we had in Brennan Johnson, they couldn't take on a man. So whenever it's time to take on a man, they just pass the ball. And having a Leao, a player that is willing to take on a man, a player that is willing to cause chaos, willing to disrupt things in the box, would really like a player like that is really hard to mark and it's very tricky for defenders. And a lot of the time, is either you back off him and you let him do what he's going to do and he's going to punish you, or you go in for that tackle and you end up fouling him. So there's no way out. Either way, you lose against a player like Leao. And I feel like Leao sort of gives Arsenal that quality that they need to win the league. And now, if you have this team, I'm telling you now, it's a different conversation entirely. It's a different conversation entirely because now I know everybody saying, "Oh, Liverpool, Liverpool," but this team fit. I genuinely think that conversations need to be had about the league because when it comes to being defensively solid, you have this guy also contributing to the attack with deep line passes from out here. You have Leao, so he's passing the ball to Leao. And if you even want to play in a low block, let's say you're playing in a low block. Let's say, okay, there's a scenario where Arsenal are in a low block. Arsenal in a low block, and you have these two. And it's also about like the way or the versatility in play. So if you have a low block, let's say they use a 4-4-2 to defend. Let's say you use a 4-4-2 to defend. Leao is the type of player that can play on the counter. Gyökeres is also the type of player that can play on the counter. And that's something that I feel like Arsenal didn't necessarily have. And I felt like Sterling was going to give them, but that signing was absolutely woeful. Oh my God, has he declined? But I felt like Sterling was going to give Arsenal the ability to play on the counter. I felt like when you stay in a low block and then you have the likes of Saka playing here, Saka isn't necessarily quick enough for him to play on the counter, and you need players that can unsettle defenders, players that when they are running at defenders, defenders are terrified of them. Do you get what I'm saying? And that was something that I didn't feel like Sterling could give them. But now it changes the conversation entirely when you have a Gyökeres and Leao on the counter. So you could have Gyökeres doing the hold up there, and he's very good with the ball to feet, by the way. So if you're playing like a team like City where you can barely keep the ball, now you have a different dynamic because you have an incredible midfielder going to win the ball back for you, and then Zubimendi to play these balls, Saka to run out here if you need. Maybe if you don't even want to commit too many players forward, you have when you're attacking, it turns into this and this narrow. So this these two stay together, and he is playing as the advanced forward, and then he's playing as the deep line playmaker or deep line forward. Sorry. So Saka is able to run on the counter. Mendy passes the ball to Saka. Saka runs up here, gives the ball to Gyökeres. Gyökeres plays it through for Leao, and nobody wants to be facing Leao while he's running towards you. That is absolutely destroying for a defender because he's already tricky enough, and it's another thing to be going against him when you're off balance. If you're settled, you could even have half a chance against him. But being like in a position where he wants you and where he can do whatever he wants to do, I don't know how you settle it. How you play against that. So like I genuinely think that the more I look into Arsenal and I look into the potential of Arsenal, I feel like the more like I feel like they could actually win the league. And if you look at there are so many teams in the conversation this year, by the way. Let me just be clear. There are four teams in the conversation. Maybe I'm going to do a prediction. Let me check. When does the season start? Premier League fixtures. When does this season start? Premier League fixtures. Fixtures. Premier League fixtures. The first game is on Friday. Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Okay, so I will have to do a prediction before then. But I feel like there are four teams in the conversation that realistically could win the league. Like, and I'm not even kidding. And that is why it's so difficult. I feel like if Chelsea should get, with the signings that they're going to get, if they could get a Mike Mignon, now it takes them a whole new level again. And I find that very interesting. But there are teams that are genuinely in the conversation of winning the league. And that's why, like, the more I look at Arsenal, and while I know that they're a very good team, as much as I try to laugh at them for not winning anything or whatever, because I'm a Spurs fan and it's funny, and they have the quality to, very least, worst case scenario, have won a Carabao Cup. But I know that they're a very good team, and I just feel like every window that they've gone into. Last year, they left themselves a bit short. This year, they're going to do the same again if they don't get in a player of the quality of a layout. If you have this guy here, where's he? Where is that guy? That absolutely pisses me off. Sorry, not this one. Where's he? This guy. This little change in this lineup. And look at how less scary it looks now, just with removing Leao from the lineup. And that's the thing, like winning the league and winning a cup, it's minute at the elite level, like it's little details. And I feel like Arsenal have always left themselves short. And if they don't sign a player of the caliber of a Leao, I know a lot of people are saying Ezebo. I don't think Eze is it. I think it's Leao. But if they are not able to sign a player of the caliber of Leao, that is going to be a huge problem. Because I'm telling you, another season with this guy as your left winger is going to be a problem, and you won't win the league again. And now questions have to be asked because people will say, "Oh, he has been back, he has been back." But every time I feel like every time they've just left Ateta short, and like it's like that's the thing we've seen. Arsenal have finished second 3 times in a row, and they're not very far off. Like it's clear to see, everybody can see that Arsenal are not very far off. But every time when they go into the winner, I just feel like they leave themselves just a bit short. Just a bit short. Every single time, just a bit short, just a bit short, just a bit short. And this time around, now that everybody's going all guns blazing, they need to find a way to bring out that money. Bring out that money and just close your eyes. 60, 70 million, close your eyes and give it to Milan because they are cash strapped. They have FFP issues. They need signings, and Leao is a signing that guarantees you at least one trophy. At least one trophy. At least one trophy. Generally speaking, at least one trophy. And speaking of like defensive stats, let me just be clear because I want to be sure, but I don't think that Martinelli does so much defensively, at least when I watch him. But let's see the stats. Let's see the stats. Yeah, I was right. I don't think he does too much defensively either. So I don't feel like they are missing too much whenever like replacing Leao with Martinelli. I don't think I said it because I know what I see when I watch it. And I didn't think that he offers too much to them off the ball. Like it's usually Saka doing the defensive work. Like if you check in contrast, Leao, it's not very different. And if you check in contrast, Saka now, you see Saka is usually the one doing the defensive work, not Martinelli. And for a player that is not doing too much defensive work, you must be absolutely horrible because if you're not doing much defensive work and you're so used in the team is to contribute attacking wise, and that is what you're giving us attacking wise, that's disgusting. Yeah, I was right. It's Saka that's the one that does it anyway. So it doesn't really change much having layout um for Martinelli. If anything, he elevates the team, in my opinion. He elevates the team in so many ways. So yeah, that's my honest take on Arsenal's left wing situation. But yeah, okay, let's go to next team. Wow, this is a very juicy fixture. Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Interesting. Wow. Um, yeah. So the next team is Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa also needed left winger. But the thing is, who do we get for Aston Villa? And Aston Villa is a very tricky one because it has to be a budget signing, it has to be a smart signing because they don't necessarily have money to spend. Let's see. Aston Villa. Let's see their team right now. And let's see what we can create of this team. I think this is going to be okay. Kamara. I think if they are unable to get anybody, this is really interesting. Okay, Kamara will be the six. John McGinn, who is a very quality player, by the way. Ollie Watkins, and maybe who do they have here? This Daniel Malin, I don't really rate. I don't really rate Daniel Malin. I don't really rate Malin. So let's say Ramsey. Well, I don't think that Ramsey is good enough for where Villa wants to be. And my God, looking at this Villa side, it's actually incredibly strong. Like I think a lot of people don't realize how strong Aston Villa is. Wow, this is a very good lineup. So let's look for a left winger for Villa. Let's look for a left winger for Villa. Okay, best left wingers in FM24. And I always use FM because I feel like it's so easy. Like they already compile this, like fans compile this. And instead of trying to find something myself, I could just check here and then check the data. And then it's easier that way. Now left wing is a position that I feel like okay, there's one guy that everybody has been talking about, Al Kalouche or something like that. I don't know how to spell his name. I think he's from Monaco. Yeah, Al Kliouche. Okay. So everybody has been talking about this guy. Let's see stats. Let's see stats. Wow. 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 How old? 23. Left footed. Left footed. He's left footed. Um, I think the current last game who played there for them. Last game who played there for them. Last game his stats are really good. Let me show you guys. So you have his attacking stats, his goals per 90, his passing is incredible. He's 23 for Monaco. Shot creating action is very good. He contributes defensively in possession. He's good. And mind you, he's taking a lot of risky passes. So he's really good. He looks really good. Like I won't even lie to you. He has a lot of green bars, and that is really good. But let's see. Let's check Aston Villa again. Let's check their last who played on the left wing against Roma. It was who? Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey is right footed. Jacob Ramsey is right footed. Yeah. So that's a problem. Alcolucci is left footed. He's left footed, right? Yeah, he's left footed. And that's going to be a problem. So he can't be their left winger. He can't. But who is their current right winger? To be fair, let's check. Who is their current right winger? Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey dominant foot is what? Left. Honestly, I think I would take Alkalish over Leon Bailey. But we said they need a left winger, so let's try to find somebody else. Left wingers are very hard to find right now. I won't even lie to you guys. Like Janini, there's another guy that everybody has been talking about, Malik Fofana. Everybody has been talking about this guy. Let's check the data. Everybody has been talking about him. 20 years of age. What are the similar players? Ganacho, Madueke, Mitoma. So he's a dribbler. I think it's quite clear he's a dribbler. His shooting stats are quite good. Let's check him also for score to check his goal contributions last year and see how well he performed. Malik. $29 million market value. Wow. 11 goals, 5 assists. Wow. And even this season, when he had 10 goal contributions, he still had a very good rating, which means he was playing well, maybe creating spaces for others with his dribbling. But then the problem is he wasn't necessarily contributing goal and assist wise, and then he has improved massively on his goal and assist output. So from 10 the previous season to 16 the second season, and he's only 20 years of age. That looks very promising. Okay, so let's check his data. The shooting stats are good from what we're seeing here, and he doesn't take a lot of shots. This is incredibly impressive because I believe here we saw he had 11 goals, and he's saying here that he took like what 30 shots. That's crazy. 30 shots is crazy. Oh no, 30th percentile. Sorry, 30th percentile. Okay. 30th percentile. So his shots per game is very low. That means he's a really good finisher. And when he shoots, he gets it 99th percentile for shots on target, goals/shots. That means his shooting is very good. That means that in this season, it's the same thing with Gittins now. If you check a Git like someone like Gittins now, his stats, his data, Gittins has been used as a touchline defender. Sorry, a touchline winger because of how good his dribbling is. The same thing as a player like Matthias Sule. Because of how good they are at dribbling, they usually use them on the touchline. And I feel like maybe this season, maybe as the season progressed, he was used more as a winger. Yeah, he was used more as a winger before, and then he started like coming in. So yeah, he doesn't really pass the ball too much, so he's more of a ball carrier. He's more of a ball carrier. Yeah, you can tell carrying distance, progressive carries. He's more of a carrier. Sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, he's more of a ball carrier, and he carries the ball instead. You can tell by these stats because if you look at his passing stats aren't really good. But when you check his carries, that's when you see green bars. So he's like I always say, or I always try to explain to people, there are different types of what they call them. There are different types of creatives or crazy players. There are players who use the ball to create, and there are players who dribble to create. So I always give an example of a Madison, a Kevin De Bruyne. These are players, Ericsson, these are players that use the ball to create. They use their passing to create, but they're also dribblers or creatives like Musiala, like Grealish, like Olise that carry the ball and carry the ball. And now in this scenario, Malik Fofana, they use the ball, they use themselves to create. So they dribble and then they drag players to them, creating space for others. And that's how they create. So it depends on the type of creative that you're looking for in your team. So yeah, it's clear to me from these stats here that Malik Fofana is a carry the ball type of creative. But then the problem is he's also left footed. So yeah, yep, that's basically useless. And he's basically useless to us. So yeah, I honestly would struggle to find a left winger. Honestly. Left wingers are very hard to find, like honestly. These are all right wingers. Al Kalush and him now, they're all right wingers. FM FM 24 Wonder Kid wingers. Sorry, let's do left wingers. Um, it's very hard to find. Bakola is off limit. João Rego, let's check this guy. Let's check. There's also this guy Rodrigo Mora. I'm not able to find him. Mora, is it Rodrigo Mora? Yeah, Rodrigo Mora. He's young as well, 2007, very young. What's his preferred foot? He barely played any minutes, but he's a huge talent as well. The few minutes he played, he looks very good. But he's a huge talent, potential. A lot of people have been talking about him in Portugal, and I know this because of FM. As Abdi, hmm, let's see. As Abdi, let's check as Abdi. This is another one. I think he's from Barca's academy. He's right-footed. Okay, okay, okay. He's a Real Batiste. Okay. He's AU 23. Okay. I think that I might have one winger in mind for Villa actually. His defensive stats are good. His shooting stats are not necessarily the best. No, 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 no. This is the guy that I think should go um to Villa, honestly. And I find it very interesting that um Emery hasn't gone back for him. That's Jeremy Pino because he played with him at Villa. He's a very good player. But the problem with Pino is that, like, if you check his goal creation stats, is incredible. His carries, his progressive passes received, carries into the penalty, progressive carries, and all these type of things. Like he can also like use the ball to create as well. I think, yeah, his assists. Okay, he doesn't necessarily. He does true balls, yeah, mostly true balls and crosses because they use him as a touchline winger. But he's one of those players that, while he's very talented, he is very lightweight. So I don't even know. Like finding a winger for a left winger is very difficult. It's very, very difficult. This one is another one. He's a Benfica. Schneidlock. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think he's Norwegian. Yeah, he's Norwegian. Um, and he is another one that I feel like could get a move very soon. He's still very raw at this point in time, but he has huge potential. I think they signed him from Norgeland or something like that in Norway. But he has huge potential, huge potential. And he's another one that I feel like could be really exciting for whoever is able to snap him up whenever he's ready. He's still developing, he's still growing, but he's one of those players that I feel like if you want to get, the best time to get him is now, like for lesser teams. He's not like somebody that I think that you should wait about and wait for him to develop well because sooner rather than later he's going to be snapped up by the bigger teams because, like I said, left wingers are very, very difficult to find. Interpret, interpret these stats for me. So yeah, Left wingers are very hard to find, and sooner rather than later is going to be snapped up because a lot of left wingers now, the left wingers available on the market right now, are not really it, and that's why Spurs will struggle to or might struggle to replace Son. So yeah, in summary, his chance creation is a world class creator, 5 star. He barely contributes defensively. His dribbling and ball carrying is incredible. His finishing is still he gets into great spots, but it's very wasteful. And yeah, he still has a long way to go. Like I said, he's still developing. And that's one thing. I was watching Yamal, like I watched the highlights of the Barca game today, and I noticed that Yamal's finishing has really been improving. And that was something that he didn't necessarily have in like his first season, and he spoke about it and he said he needs to improve it. He was assisting, but now Yamala started scoring, and it's obvious that he's working on that. And I feel like this player now is the same thing as Vini at Real Madrid. When Real Madrid first got Vini used to do everything but finish. And a lot of these young players, they're not complete, but you can like there are certain players that you can look at and you know that they have something about them. And I think that Schneiderlop is one of those players that I have used on Football Manager, and I know that this is a player that has something about him. Like you can just tell that this is a player that has something about him. So yeah, this is one to watch in the next few years. I'm saying it now. Schneiderlop is one to watch. Benfica always making so much money of this player. This is another player that keeps on coming on my FM. But stats are not here, so I can't really evaluate him as a player. But the times I've signed him, he hasn't really been anything special in my opinion. But yeah, so yeah, Alberto Molerio. This is a Spanish player. Let me check. What team is he in? Has he had any transfer? I think he's at Las Palmas. Is he Las Palmas? Villarreal? That means he has gotten a transfer. Let's check. I think he has gotten a transfer. Yep, he transferred to Villarreal. It was at Las Palmas, if I'm correct. Yeah, yep, I was right. He just transferred to Villarreal. It was at Las Palmas. Jesus Christ, I'm an absolute football freak. Why do I know all this? It's FM. It's FM, honestly, it's FM. But anyways, yeah. This is another one. This player, yeah, this is another one. This Piniam. Let's check his stats. It's another player that keeps on coming on my FM. It's not here. It's not coming out. No data on him. I don't know why. Let me see. Oh God. So this now. The UX of this website is poor. Magno is another one that keeps on coming up. But he's in the what they call that league? MLS. So I don't know if there's anything to like really. But if he's absolutely killing the league, then it might be a different conversation. So his passing is really good. His assists are really good. His goal scoring not really. It looks really good. A lot of green bars for the um okay, you know what? Let's just do this and ask ChatGPT to interpret the stats so we understand what we're looking at. Um so yeah. What's this? No now. This is when I was suggesting a title for my video. Why is it telling me I don't understand? Okay, wait. Didn't I new chat? Share the stat instead. Interpret the stats for me. Yeah. All right. Use stats. So his finishing is poor and he underperforms his XG. Wow. So is that bad a finisher? Jesus Christ. That is crazy. Um, his chance creation is 4 star. Wait, did he get a transfer? Because I'm seeing Corinthians. Yup, he got a transfer from. I don't understand. Yeah, he has been transferred. He got a transfer. Incredible. So yeah, from what you're seeing here, his finishing is 2 star. His finishing is really poor, and he shoots a fair amount. He's more of a creator, so he looks like somebody who uses the ball to create, and he's like a dribbler. Now, somebody like this, I think, is somebody that you would use as a touchline winger. Honestly, I think he's somebody that you use as a touchline winger because he clearly cannot finish to save his life. He underperforms his XG. That is crazy. But yeah, his ball carrying is class. His take ons is good. Like these are all these, and the thing about players like this is that a Tottenham, a Chelsea might not necessarily take a punt on him, but you're talking like elite that coming into the Premier League, take a punt on him. If you sign him and you sign a goal scorer, somebody who is good in the air, maybe another version of a Chris Wood, and you just have a Magno creating for him. That's your bagsman there. That's your bagsman. But yeah, I don't think that this is a player that is good enough for Aston Villa. I'm sorry. Magno, I'm sorry. So yeah, let's try to check out other players. Um, let's try to check out other players. Velasco. There are some players at this um Spanish league. I don't know how you're a winger and you're defensive. No, 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 no. I don't like what I'm seeing here. Um, this is another one. This Asan Diao. I've been hearing about him, a lot of noise. I think he's at Betis or where? Como? That was at Betis. Or did he get a transfer? Yeah, it was at Betis. Then he got a transfer to Como last year. Yeah. Oh God, I'm actually a football freak. I don't know how. I don't know why I know all this. Okay, it's even here. But yeah, I know this because of FM, because I like search for players. I search for players on Football Manager, and like I look for like young players to develop them. So I know like quite a number of young players. So right now he's still very raw. His stats are not really that impressive. I was watching Nico Paz highlights posted by the Syria, and I saw him a lot in the highlights. Still very raw. Want to watch. Hopefully in a few years. Um, but yeah, I think out of all the players that I'm seeing here, honestly, I think the best option. This is another one. This guy is another one to watch. And I'm saying it now. I've not been able to watch him, but his stats and using him in Football Manager, I'm telling you guys, Van Bommel is one to watch. Look, look, he's still very raw. Mind you, a lot of these guys are still very young. He's 21 years old. A lot of the players that like I sign on FM are very young players. Like I said, I like to develop players and find like the next big thing. So let's interpret the stats. But you can already tell that he looks like an all-rounder. He can play a number of positions. He can play midfield. He can play wing. He can play nine. He can play a lot of positions, and he's still very raw. And in my FM career in Manchester United, yes, Manchester United, I'm obsessed with finding clubs that are in chaos and trying to rectify them with young players. But yeah, he really he really became a superstar for me. Unfortunately for him, he was competing with Ganacho on my wings, so he struggles for playtime sometimes. But yeah, the two of them. No, this is not Magno. That's the thing. I think this thing is not interpret the stats for me. Yeah, Van Bommel. This is in Magno. So let's see what's here. I'm telling you guys, this guy is one to watch in the future. I'm saying it now. And a lot of people are not talking about him now, but this guy is going to be one to watch. So his non-penalty goals. Mind you, this boy is 21, by the way. This boy is 21 years old. His non-penalty goals, 3 stars, solid goal scorer for a winger. His XG quality, incredible. So he has high XG. He gets into very good positions. His shot volume is very high, 4 star. He shoots often, so he's not afraid to take a shot. And even though he shoots often, his shots are consistently on target. So that means he gets into good positions, he shoots, and they are consistently on target. And let me see. Creativity and passing, assist, 4 star, high assist numbers. We'll check his. Let's even check. Let's even check now. Van Bommel. In fact, I might even stick my neck out. What foot is his dominant foot? Right foot. Tottenham Hotspur have found our left winger. Tottenham Hotspur have found our left winger. This was him last season. 10 goals, 6 assists. At 20 years of age. 20 years of age. We found our left winger. But that's crazy because a lot of people will probably have my head because everybody's tired of us signing young players. But yeah, he has huge potential, this one. But yeah, XG against, sorry, XG assists, expected assists per game, 3 star, keep assist 3, his crossing is very low, progressive passes 4 star, so he's a very attack-minded winger. He wants to get the ball forward all the time. Progressive carries 3 stars, touches in the box is very high, so he gets into dangerous position. And like this might actually be Tottenham Hotspur's winger, because the thing about Thomas Frank is I always tell people. So if you look at, let's do Tottenham. Let's do Tottenham. There's this thing where Thomas Frank likes to do, and I watched a lot of Brentford videos when we're linked to Thomas Frank as our manager, and the thing Thomas likes to do is, so we have Paulinia now. We have Yao Paulinia, we have Rodrigo Bentancur, and we have who yet? It could even be Van Bommel. But let's say we do this. Okay, no. Let's say Lucas. But it looks like it's going to be Sam. So let's just go with Sam. And you have Van Bommel here. You have Solanke and you have Kudus. Now, the thing about how Tottenham Hotspur or Brentford played under Thomas Frank is that under Thomas Frank, Brentford sort of did this thing where they try to have high value XG. So what's this high value XG? High value XG basically talks about how you get into positions, good positions, where statistically it gives you a higher percentage or a higher chance of scoring than normally. And I find that very interesting because now when you check this guy's stats, it tells you here that his non-penalty goals are good for a winger. Mind you, like I said, he's 21 years of age. He gets into good positions, which means like good goal scoring positions. He's not afraid to shoot, and he gets it consistently on target. And we've seen what like Thomas Frank has been able to do with players like Mbeumo. If you look at Mbeumo last season, a lot of Mbeumo's shots last season were hitting the bar, hitting the bar, hitting the bar, hitting the bar. And last season could have been a breakout year for, like, I'm talking the season before this last season, because I know a new season is about to start, but like 2 seasons ago now, or 3 seasons ago now, he was hitting the bar a lot. But Mbeumo was somebody that wasn't afraid to shoot. And like we've seen Thomas Frank's coaching staff and everybody at Brentford improve attackers. Now, this is somebody that already naturally has the instincts. He wants to shoot, he wants to score, and his assist numbers too are not bad. This is a young player that gets touches in the box. He knows his way around in the box. He puts in tackles defensively. He just doesn't. He does the attacking wise, like the attacking parts, but he also puts in the hard yards defensively. And like for a player that is what 21, these These stars are incredibly impressive, and this is something to work with. And this is what I mean when you sign a player like Matistel, and if you look at his market value, what's his market value? Look, look at his market value. But this is one of those gems that a lot of people don't know about, and it's not my job as a football fan to be finding players for the Tottenham Hotspur scouts. When we're signing Matistel for 50 million and there's Van Bommel that we could sign, this is the kind of talent that we should be getting, not a Matisse. I'm sorry, but what I've seen is not good enough. And this is the quality of talent we should be signing. This is somebody that I think has a lot of room to go. This is somebody that I believe has potential. This is someone I think that could be developed. I'm getting pissed, honestly. I'm getting pissed. But yeah, I think we found a left winger. And he's an inside forward. He's a winger that wants to score goals. And if we can sort of deduct anything from when the manager Unai Emery got Rashford, Van Bommel is a player that can play in midfield because he works hard defensively. He can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play as a 9, he can play anywhere in front. He's very versatile. He could even play as an 8 because of how hard he works off the ball. And that's one advantage he has. Like, his defensive work rate is incredible. This is like an engine of a man. Let's check his height. He's also tall. I think he's like 6'4". He's 6'4". He's also tall. So even aerially, like he's such a talent. Honestly. Van Bommel height 186 meters. Like, this is one to watch. I'm not even joking. This is one to watch. And that's the thing, like, it's incredible that I'm able to find these players from a game. He's 6'1". Okay, 6'1". Then why did they now say 6'4" in FM? Ruben Van Bommel FM 24. Yeah, I know they said 6'4" in FM. Abi? I don't know. Let me check. The network is, I don't know, my Wi-Fi doesn't accept my Wi-Fi. Using my hotspot, it doesn't allow me see all these things. What's his height? I can't say 6'3". Yeah, it said 6'3" here, but it's saying 6'1". I don't know. So at least he's 6 foot tall. Like, that's the thing. He's such a talent. And he's so cheap. He's so cheap as well. Honestly, this is a player. Let's check for players similar to him. So you have Luis Araujo. I don't know who this is. A lot of these players, I don't know who they are. But okay, let's check. We find them out. One day I didn't know Van Bommel as well, so it's perfectly fine. We'll see if we can find any other young players. Lozano, Wilfred Nonto. Nonto is another one. Nonto Elite. How old are you first? 29. Forget it. How old are you? 25. Forget it. And you're playing where? Portland Timbers? No. Ain't no way. Kyle. Where is he? Al Hilal. Oh, forget it. He's not leaving Al Hilal. He's earning so much money there. Jesus Christ, his stats are so bad. But his goal and shot creation action and his defensive ability is good as well. Who is this? 25? No. Who is this? Why did my screen stop sharing? I don't know why my screen stopped sharing. I don't know why. Ah, that's a loop. Sorry. Who is this? Thiago Palacios? I don't even know. Let's check him out. Let's check the stats. For somebody that is not playing in a top league, I should be seeing green bars everywhere. If I'm not seeing green bars everywhere, no. Ain't no way we're looking at that. Who is this? 25. Why does he have such a baby face? It must be an old picture. Yeah. It's passing is incredible. All club as Alkmaar. Who is this guy? Left footed, forget it. We're looking for a right footer. 25 left footed, forget it. None to let's check his stats. I'm sharing my screen, right? Okay. Um, Nonto stats are good, but they're championship stats. But yeah, the players that are similar to him, I don't really like. But yeah, Van Bommel is Italian. Like this is a player that I think that okay, you know what? Remove. Let's not do this. Stop screen. Let me share tabs instead of sharing my entire screen. So yeah, that's better and it's less strenuous on your eyes. So yeah, like this is a player that I think that has huge potential and we should be going for. Let me show you in contrast to Matisse. Let me show you in contrast to Matisse. Whenever I look at Matisse, I just get angry. Look at Matisse. Just red. Everything is red. Compare. So let's do this. Compare Matisse and Van Bommel. Let's see. No. No, now. Compare Matisse and Van Bommel based on their stats. I don't know. Maybe it's this update that is making the AI act weird because it has been acting very weird. Non-penalty goals. Okay, let's see. So as a goal threat, and this is somebody that we signed for 50 million, by the way. 50 million. 50 million. But okay, 10 million loan fee. Goal threat. Non-penalty goals. 1 star. Van Bommel, 3. Non-penalty expected goals. So he has a very high expected goals, but he doesn't used to score. That means he used to miss chances. Okay, no problem. So Matisse, 4 star. Then Van Bommel, 5 star. He's a very strong finisher. He's a very good finisher. He's an inside forward, by the way, which is exactly what we want at Tottenham Hotspur because Kudus can be used as a touchline winger. There were times in like the game against when we're watching the preseason where they were trying to use Kudus as the inside forward and what's his name? Son as the touchline winger. It's not going to work. But if you have Van Bommel, who is an inside forward, you can use him as the inside forward and then you can use Kudus as the touchline winger because Kudus has the dribbling ability to come from out wide in. He's that good. Like, and that's the thing. The problem I had with Angie's system. A lot of people don't understand how good a dribbler you have to be able to come from the touchline all the way inside. Because when you're at the touchline, let me show you guys. Let me show you. So when you're at the touchline, here, you have sometimes you have okay, this guy is going to be here, this guy is going to be here, and they create sort of this shape here. So you as a winger coming in here, you would have to face the central defender. You also have the CDM here as well. You have the CDM here as well. You have the left back and you have the left center back. They're all here. So you're coming from the touchline here, and you have to come all the way into the box. It is incredibly difficult. There are only very few players that can do it. You can have like there are few players like a Matthias Sule, a Gittins can do it. You have a Chieze can do it. You have who else can I think of? Who else? Musiala can do it. Like very few. Grealish can do it. But very few players that have dribbling ability of that level to be able to come in from out wide in. It's very difficult and it requires insane skill. Insane skill. And that's the thing, like that's like Kudus. I think Kudus will be able to do it. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. That's what I wanted to say about that. But I think that this guy, as an inside forward and having Kudus here and him nearer to Solanke getting goals, could really elevate us. I genuinely think that is a player with huge potential. I genuinely think so. And I will have him over Schneiderlin. I would. So yeah, I think that we have found a left winger for Aston Villa, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we have found a left winger for Aston Villa because I think he profiles similarly to a Rashford because he's an inside forward. He wants to get goals. He wants to score goals. He wants to cut inside, and he also puts in the hard yard defensively. Like his defensive stats are incredible. For Chelsea, I think Chelsea is not even a conversation. I think that for Chelsea, who they need is Mike Maignan. If they get Maignan, they go to a whole new level. Like obviously they're filling the gaps with Hato and whatever, and Xavi Simons, Garnacho, but they need a goalkeeper. For them to truly have like a chance of winning this league, I think that Chelsea get the goalkeeper. It elevates them in the conversation. Liverpool, for me, you guys already know. A centre back, Maguire. That's what they need. Liverpool need a centre back, and I've been saying this since. The only centre back aside from Van Dijk and Konate that they have right now is Joe Gomez, and I don't think Joe Gomez is of the quality that they need. So a Maguire towards the end of the window would really elevate them. Manchester City, I think that's very easy. I've spoken to my friend lots of times that is a City fan, and he's spoken about how they need a right back. You can't have another season with Matheus Nunes at right back, so a Livramento will solve their problem. United, Baliba, not even a conversation. Baliba will solve their problem. Newcastle United, I think Newcastle could use. They've gotten a centre back, which really solves the problem. The striker, I think they're going for some more Moradian. The striker market isn't really anything to write home about, if I'm being honest with you guys. It's very dry. Honestly speaking, it's very dry, and there's not much to write about in the striker market. So I can't really put a name forward. I think I'll be doing a disservice to Newcastle if I were to pitch some of the players that I've seen when I tried researching on strikers for them. But yeah, now that we've been able to find Van Bommel for left wing, let me focus on Tottenham today because I don't usually focus on my team because they bring me a lot of sadness. But today is a different day. Today is a new day. Today is a good day. I feel good. I feel happy. So let's try and find a 10. Let's try and find a 10. Um, let's check for cams in general, not necessarily Wonderkid cams. Let's see if any of these guys are attainable. I know a lot of people have been saying Grealish, maybe Grealish. Grealish is one. Let's see. I'm also looking at age. I don't want Brahim Diaz. I don't think that Brahim Diaz offers enough defensively for his abilities. Let me check if the stats correlate with what I watched against for Real Madrid. Can you imagine? So he does offer a bit. But there was this game I watched for Madrid, and that's why I said let me check the stats because I don't want to make a conclusion of one game. But there was this game I watched for Real Madrid, and this guy lost the ball. He lost the ball, and what did he do? He watched them, and he lost the ball. They went back all the way to score, and he was just watching. I hate that. Like, I don't think people understand how much I hate that thing, but I hate it so much. Like, if you don't put in the hard yards defensively for a team, I hate it. I hate it so much, honestly. I hate it so much. I can't even put it into words how much I hate that thing. But anyways, Decatele. Atalanta play a low block, so I don't necessarily know if this is what we're looking for. But yeah, and I don't watch Atalanta every week, so I can't say. Bayana has already gone to Atletico Madrid, a very creative player. Honestly, the number 10 market is very dead. Like, I will even lie to you guys. There's Thiago Almada, but I think he has even had a transfer as well. Let's check. Almada, I think he has changed teams. Let's check. Yeah, Atletico Madrid as well. Yeah, I know he changed teams because I saw him in the news not too long ago. So yeah, let's try and find a wonder kid. Because majority of the time, that's the thing. That's the thing about this. That's the thing about this whole number 10 market. Because of how dry the market is, a lot of teams are forced to go and find wonder kids. A lot of teams are forced to go and find wonder kids. Let's check. This boy, he has a huge future, but I don't know if he has started playing for them yet. There's another one, and they're here, I'll be there here or something like that. That Monaco, they have a lot of players. Though. Let me check. He hasn't started playing enough. But why not? There's another one. But let's check his stats. Not yet. Still developing. But he puts in the hard yards defensively. Yeah. Seguier. I said the year. What I call it. Seguier. Huge potential. This boy. Huge potential. And he puts in the hard yards defensively as well. This is one. This is a player. What's his minutes? So like 2,000 minutes last season at how old? 20. Let's check. And he's right-footed. Let's see. Let's check the stats. Let's check. I need you to interpret the stats for me. So let's see. This is another player that can play off the left wing, but he's a 10 and he has huge potential. But let's even check his value. Seg here. But Monaco won't let these guys go for cheap. 29 million at 20 years of age. Can you imagine? See, the players that Monaco have inside this team, Monaco always have ballers like that. Their academy, lots of ballers, bro. Alkalush. This is another one. 44 million. This who? Oh my god. High pressing. His strengths are high pressing, passing, playmaking. No outstanding weakness. How tall is he? 183 centimeters. How tall is that? 2 feet. 6 feet. Wow. That is tall. Kamara. How old? 21. Who is this guy? What's his position? Midfield / DM. We already have enough midfielders. But can he pass? Because we're looking for a ball playing midfielder. If he can do that, I'll have him. Can he pass? Can he pass? What is his passing? He can. He can, to be fair. Let's see. But wait, one at a time. Use stars. Let's use stars to interpret secure stats. Okay. So for Sekir, his goal scoring 3 stars, assist and creativity 2 stars, low assist rates but good chance creation. That means the people that he's creating the chances for are not finishing. His passing is good and he has excellent progressive passing. His ball progression and dribbling, so he's more of a ball carrier. That will be very useful in this Tottenham Hotspur side, considering that the only ball carrier we have is Kudus. Decent defensive rate, is involved, and he has good discipline. So yeah, let's see. Would I that Alkilush? What's his position? Alkilush. What's his position? Let's check. Um, Lamin Kamara. We're coming to you next. What's his position? This Alkilush. Right wing. Forget it. We already have a right winger. So we have Sek here. Maybe Sek here. And this is me being as realistic as possible, by the way. I don't want to be delusional and tell you people, uh, this guy, sell a dream. Let's be real. The players that actually are attainable. Um, let's check Kamara. Use gold stars. Um, so yeah, his goal scoring is poor. His creativity and assists is really good. His passing is crazy, 4/5. Defensive contribution is also good. Can he pass from deep? Yes, I mean, but with some nuances. Very involved in passing, showing gets ball. So that ability to move the ball forward. 3/4. So he can pass from deep. Let's see. Wait. So his passes attempted 85th percentile. Passes completion is very high. Progressive passes is good at moving the ball forward. Long passes completion decent, but could be better. Mm. So he's more of like, and he's an excellent creator, and he creates goals. Strong chance creation, 87th percentile. This is compared to midfielders. Very effective at unlocking defenses. I've seen enough. Get out. Yep. This guy here. How he's still in this lineup, I don't know. Personally, if it was up to me, I'll replace him. But with who? The player we've been linked to is this guy. What's the name of that number 9 again? I've been linked to Kalimwendo. Let's see stats. Kali Kali. Shooting is good, his passing is good, so he's good at link up play. It doesn't really contribute a fair bit defensively. He knows how to carry the ball. Um, Similar to a Jonathan David, Oyazabal, Johan Wissa, who is also a player that we've been linked to. Let's check his stats. Kalimwendo. Wow. So 7 goals, 3 assists, 13 goals, 0 assists. He was at PSG. Um, 15 goals, 18 goals. It's not bad. He's shooting. Let's check his shooting stats. So matches played. What's his total shots? Shots on target. Total shots. Wow. So his shots on target is 37 and he had 18 goals. That is incredible. What? 37 minus 18 is what, like 19 or something? I don't know, my math is bad. Minus 18. 19, yeah. 19. So 19. 19 shots. That is incredible. Wow. That is really good finishing. Shots on target 36, 15 goals. Do you know how? Do you guys know how crazy that is? He's a really good finisher. What? Here, shots on target, 19, 8 goals. He's really clinical. He's re- I think I found my nine. Let me check Sholanke and Richarlison. So we understand the context that we're dealing with here. Because I think we might have found our nine. He's a different profile to be fair, but let's check the oh, when you look at this now, it doesn't look that bad, does it? 37, 16, 43, 21, 120 shots, and having 43 on target. Okay, you know what? Let me look at the whole context. Let me look at the whole context of his shooting stats. So he has 79 shots, 83 shots. So it doesn't really take a large volume of shots. It's obvious that he's the kind of person that he's, and this is how I used to be when I used to play football. I had to be very sure before I shoot. Like, I don't like just shooting. It has to be like something that I think I can score before I shoot. I don't like just giving the ball to the opponent. So yeah, that's how I used to be, and I think that that is the kind of person he is. What's BCM? I don't know what that is. Team play, assist. He doesn't really assist. Key passes 22, 33, 22. His passing, average passing success is very good for an attacker. 80 something percent is very good for an attacker. Yeah, I don't understand these other things now. I'm looking at it. Um, defending. You know what? Let's just go here and interpret the stats. Let's go here and interpret the stats because I like what I'm seeing. So yeah, his goals per 90, like I said, is a very good finisher. 4 stars. His non-penalty goals, 3 stars. Um, Slightly outperforms his XG, showing clinical finishing. Exactly. Shots, moderate shot volume, 2 stars. Like I said, he doesn't really shoot, so he picks his times to shoot, which is bad because Tottenham Hotspur don't really have people that shoot. Like, we don't have attackers that shoot. A lot of our attackers don't shoot. Like Shanta said this when he was on the. A lot of our attackers they struggle to take shots. So yeah, I think that's very interesting. Shot accuracy, shot accuracy 3 stars. Mm. Penalty kicks made 4 stars. Is a reliable penalty taker. His pass completion is very good. Very accurate passer for a forward. Exactly, that's what I was saying. Progressive passes, 4 stars. He's fairly involved in build-up play. His assists are bad. But he's a 9. Um, Low chance creation from passes, not a major creative force. So creating, he's purely a goal scorer. Progressive carries, he knows how to carry the ball. And this is going to be key, especially when Tottenham Hotspur are playing low blocks. This is going to be very key. Successful take-ons is a decent dribbling success. Take-ons penalty, active in dribbling challenges. Successful take-ons could be more efficient, so he could improve on it. His tackle penalty, moderate defensive work, tackles 1 average, limited defensive reading, fouls committed is fairly aggressive. Wow, at least 1 per game. So disciplined overall, yellow cards. Touches penalty, average involvement, good presence in midfield areas. So he drops deep, good at progressing into dangerous areas. So he carries the ball well, active in threatening zones. Mm. So he's a prolific forward with good finishing and solid passing ability. Very involved in progressing the ball, particularly in carries and progressive passes, but less in creative terms in terms of assists and key passes. So he just carries the ball forward and gives it to people that will create. and then goes into the position that he needs to be to score. Defensively, he works hard, but isn't a standout. His shooting is efficient, and he slightly overperforms his XG, indicating good composure in front of goal. So his goal scoring 4 star, passing 4 star, creativity 2, dribbling 3, defensive defense 3, ball progression 3, before. So yeah, he's a decent player. Like I said, the striker market is quite dead, and let's compare him to Solanke. Let's compare him to Solanke because that is what we have right now, and in my eyes, he has to be an upgrade on what we have personally. We can't just bring in anybody. But yeah, from his stats, you can already tell that this guy isn't too much. But anyways, this is Tottenham Hotspur striker, 65 million. Rocket, I say rocket. Record signings. Record signing. God forbid. Good lord. Compare Solanke and Kalimwendo based on their stats. Taiwo Awoni. Who is Taiwo Awoni? I said Kalimwendo. Ah, this is so mad. This AI has been acting. This AI has been acting very funny. Since this ChatGPT 5, this is Solanke stats. Then Kalimwendo. This is Kalimwendo. Let's do Kalimwendo as well. This is Kalimwendo. And let's do Wisa. Let's add Wisa to the mix. No, the message is too long. Okay. Okay. Copy, paste. Sorry. Yeah, this is Wisa. Compare both players based on their stats. It's still too long. Okay. This is Wisa. Wisa stats. Wait. I gave you Kalimwendo and Solanke earlier. So now compare all 3 players. Use stars. Use stars to compare them so that we'll be able to visually see what we're looking at instead of all these words. Oh, use gold stars. This ChatGPT, sometimes this will stress me. Yeah, you have to be talking to them and see, boy, it's getting better, Sha. Okay, so Wisa, goal scoring, he's the best out of all of them. Goal scoring and efficiency, he's the best. And I think everybody would agree that Tottenham Hotspur need a goal scorer. So goal scoring and efficiency is the best. Creativity and assists, Solanke and what's his name? Wisa are the best. Passing, Wisa, defensive work, aerial ability, Solanke. Wissa is the best. Wissa is our striker. We found our striker. Let's see. And just to make sure that he didn't like just come out of nowhere. In his first season at Brentford, 11 goal contributions, 10, but his minutes plays weren't that much. They're very similar, even though you're seeing 40 games here. Very similar. So one goal contribution difference, even though like the matches played are showing something else. And this season, there was a huge rise in the number of minutes played, and it's shown that as he has gotten more minutes, he has progressively gotten better, except from this season. Yeah, 20 goals at Brentford is madness. I'm telling you guys, that is madness. The shots on target 45, very clinical. And that's the thing I was talking about with the high value exit thing that Brentford do. Shots on target 45, but he has 20 goals. That's nearly 1 in 2 shots is a goal. If you even check the year when he scored 10, 20 shots on target as well. The year when he scored um 7, 16 on target. The year when he scored 12, 29 on target. Like, he's so clinical. Now, it's not even a conversation for me. Not anymore, based on what I've seen here. Ain't no way. Now, with this team, potentially, you can start having some conversations about maybe seventh. Because I think that Van Bommel, and this is a decent window. This is a decent window. And like Thomas Frank said, it's not necessarily about, God, my back is paining me. I'm sitting down here for like what, 2 hours. But yeah, like it's not necessarily about building something for now, but it's about building something sustainable, and players that you can mold in the way you want to mold them. That number 8 position, let's try and see if we can find another number 8, because I'm not so happy with the number 8s we have. FM24 CM Wonder Kids. FM24 best passers. Top central midfielders in FM20. We can all agree that these players are off limit. Cup miners. Let's see start. Oh, is that Juve? Is that Juve? Let me check. Why am I not seeing this club? I think he moved. Yep, forget it. It's off limits. He just moved to Juve. Benacer, another one that I've been hearing about for years. Let's see. Let's see stats. FBRF. Let's see stats. I'm looking for somebody that can pass. Like, I'm talking of like a, oh my god, this is what I'm talking about. This, everything is what I'm talking. This is the kind of player that elevates us. This is it. And that's the thing. I'm not even a scout. And I'm finding these players, and look at his market value. Look at his market value. I'm not even a scout. And yet Tottenham was struggling to find these players. Bloody hell. Tired of this club, man. Interpret these stats using gold stars. God, everything passing is 5-star. You know what? I need to download this lineup that I'm creating here. So let's see. Passes attempted. He attempts a lot of passes, 5 stars. Passes completion, 95%. So he attempts a lot of passes and he completes the passes that he attempts. Progressive passes, top. He does. Key passes, top. His assists, top. And he's a DM, by the way. He's a DM. He's a DM. Expected assists, 5-star. Progressive carries, he can also carry. Guy, Milan have so many ballers. How did he finish out of? How does this make any sense? They had Tijani, they had Benacer, they have Leao. How on earth did they? What happened at Milan? Anyways, this is a midfielder, by the way, that is having successful take-ons. Can you imagine? Carries into the final third, top. Carrying distance, top. Tackles, top. Interceptions, blocks, defensively, he's suspect. But let's say it's obvious from these stats that they used him as a number 8. He's a number 8, but he's not the best goal scorer. He's not the best goal scorer, and you can tell from his stats here that he doesn't necessarily get goals. He hasn't really been somebody that gets goals. But like, for you to know how much he influences the games, even though he isn't getting goals and assists, he's still having very high averages, season averages. This is our number 8. This is him. This is what we're looking for. And that's the thing about Gibbs White. And that's why I was so pained about the Gibbs White signing, because there was a specific profile that we needed. And now you're telling me this team now, we're not having a serious conversation. And let's say Senker, let me download. I need to download this. You know what? Let me just take a screenshot. I'll just take a screenshot of it. And save it on my screen, on my desktop. I'm coming. Let me take a screenshot and save it on my desktop. Yeah. And now you're telling me that, okay, when a Madison comes back to decide, you can do this. Look at this lineup. And this is me within 2 hours. 2 hours or 30 minutes, I'm able to put this up and find players based on data, players that are not very expensive, players that fit what we're trying to do at Tottenham Hotspur. And Tottenham Hotspur have been trying to do this for months. They should just come and hire me at this point. They should just come and hire me, because they don't know what they're doing there. They don't know what they're doing there. Oh my God, I feel so proud of myself. I need to make a video. I'm going to do a live tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about these guys that I found here tonight. Honestly, Benacer is what we're looking for. That is exactly what we're looking for, because Thomas Frank has been trying to play direct. So let me try to give you guys an example of what I've seen under Thomas Frank. So we've seen this, yeah. So because we've had Pedro Porro down here, and Pedro Porro, because he has a passing ability to spread the ball, Pedro Porro is able to play in this back three. And Udogi, because he doesn't necessarily have the passing range of a Porro, he's running down here. So this turns into a back three, and Porro is also contributing to the creativity by playing long passes to the forwards, playing long passes to a Kudus. Kudus, like Mbeumo, starts out wide and drifts in here. And then you have one who is very close to here. And we saw Son being the one starting out wide in his last game for us, but we realized that he couldn't really influence the game. Even the game before the last game, he couldn't really influence the game. So he's not a profile. Van Bommel is an inside forward. Kudus is a huge dribbler, very impressive dribbler. So he's able to do this and come here, like start wide and come here. And you have Benacer, who can also create and spray passes. And you have Wissa running in behind. You have Kudus causing chaos, and Van Bommel here with his high value XG and all that. Polinia destroying whoever comes here. Madison also going to create and taking these positions here that he likes to take on the left. So now you have 4 players inside the box. And Udogi, sorry. You have Madison here in this row and Udogi here as well. Pedro also creating and Paulinia and Benacer here. But with Benacer also creating from here. It's incredible. It's incredible. And that's the thing. And like now, that is a conversation. And that's why, like, God, it pains me so much that Kinski is not a good defender. Because from what I've seen, he's trying to have as many people on the pitch as possible that can create. So you have a Pedro Porro spraying the ball, you have Benacer spraying the ball, you have Romero spraying the ball, you have Udogi creating from here, you have this one creating from here, this one creating from here, this one creating from here. It's like advanced direct football. And the idea is to also have a goalkeeper that can also create. So if you change this to this now, or let's say one of the best at doing this guy, you also have your goalkeeper who is also an attacking threat. Do you get what I'm saying? So it really it's really exciting how we're going to look under Thomas Frank if we're able to get the right profile of players. But I don't know if AC Milan will be willing to sell Benacer after losing Tijani. So that's the conversation you have to have. But yeah, like within how many minutes now I'm able to find young like players that fit what we're able to do, and you're telling me that it's been how many months in the transfer window and Tottenham Sports scouts can't do it. Like I'm able to find, and what do? I just play Football Manager. That's all I do, and check data, and I'm able to find players, but these people aren't. It's a joke, honestly. Honestly, it's a joke. But yeah, guys, if you're new here, please leave a like. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on Tottenham United. I think tomorrow my video is going to be on Tottenham because I'm really excited by what we found here today. Honestly, Benacer, guy, what are these stats? What are these passing stats? Elite, 5-star. Except from this, 5-star passing. And that's what Gibbs White was going to give us. That's what Gibbs White, like, that's why when some people were asking me, like, oh, would you have this player? Would you have that player? No, because we need a specific profile of player for what this manager is trying to do. And you're telling me that this guy's transfer market value on SofaScore here is 15.9 million euros. Let's check on transfer market. Let's check on transfer market. Let's check on transfer market. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Good Lord. Transfer market. What's the market value? And it's at a good age as well. It's 27. Oh, there's another player that's coming to mind. There's this guy, a goalkeeper, Eurobik. I think he's a Bayern. Yeah. God, I'm an absolute football freak. Jesus Christ. I've checked him before. Let me see. He's still growing. He's still developing. Still developing. Still very young, by the way. 22. Still very young. What's his market value? What is it? 50 million. Can you see what I'm saying? Can you see what I'm saying? Can you see what I'm saying? It's 15 million. 15. And you're telling me players like this are available. Yeah, we're going for Gibbs White. Good Lord. Oh, God, Tottenham, just come and hire me now. Just come and hire me. Let me take over your online. Let me take over. Because this guy doesn't know how to do anything. He doesn't. Look at this player. Look at this player. Look at this absolute gem of a player. Wow. No. Nice. Let me check. There are new rumors. Besiktas. Besiktas. Are you serious? Liverpool are being linked to him. No, Liverpool were linked previously. This year is Marseille, Al-Dulal, and Besiktas. Wait. Let's see if Tottenham will come up if you type Nico Paz. Where are rumors? Tottenham isn't here. Let's check easy. Eberechi dance. Eberechi dance. Eberechi dance. Eberechi dance. Let's check easy. Eberechi. Eberechi Eze. Arsenal. Not Spurs. That's the thing. So I don't even know. That's the thing. Like, nobody even knows who we're linked to. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. If you're new here, please leave a like, please subscribe and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time with Not on the Narratives. Honestly, I need to be hired at Tottenham Hotspur. I need to be hired. I do. I'm convinced I do. And maybe I would have to go and watch his highlights because I don't watch serial. But I'll have to watch his highlights and see clips of him and see what he's about as a player. But yeah, like to finally conclude, Van Bommel, I couldn't watch his highlights because of I didn't see any recent thing on him on YouTube. Shocking. Wissa, we know what Wissa is about. Senke, decent player. So yeah, I think it has been a very good one today, and I'm very happy with what I found today. Honestly, I am. I'm very delighted with what I found today, and I think I think that I was able to make quite a team today, quite a good team. So yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Take care, guys. Bye bye. I am here every day, 10 p.m. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow or later today. Later today. All right, bye. Take care.